What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and break down why tomorrow is going to be a crazy day for the markets as we have quadruple witching approaching us. So I'm going to break down what is quadruple witching, why this is going to be very important, and how this may affect Tesla's share price and the overall market for many stocks, ETFs, and the SPY as well. And before I break anything down, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is, one of these 12 free stocks could be a free Tesla share. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just 2 weeks. So please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So I was very fortunate today to have some free time. I did mention yesterday that I didn't think I would have much free time because of the fact that I have a big dentist consultation coming up to get my wisdom teeth removed. However, I do have a little bit of time today, maybe about 30 minutes, and decided that I had some time to quickly record a video about Tesla and why tomorrow is going to be a crazy day, because it most likely will be. And I'm going to show you exactly why. So tomorrow is a big day known as quadruple witching. Many people may not know what this is. It's a term that refers to the date in which many derivatives contracts, they basically expire simultaneously. This happens with 4 different types of contracts. And let me just list them right over here. The 4 main contracts which are expiring, and there are tons of them, millions of them simultaneously expiring. We have equities, futures, contracts. We have options on individual equities, options on contracts on equity futures, and then options on equity indexes. Also, single stock futures can be included, but it doesn't matter specifically. The main thing is so many of them are expiring, and we don't often get this many expiring at the same time. It's particularly during these quadruple witching dates. This happens usually 4 times per year. The third Friday in March, the third Friday in June, the third Friday in September, and then also for December. Now, this basically marks the end of the quarter, and we have September coming up, which is going to be tomorrow, the the third Friday of September. And that's the reason why the markets are kind of starting to react the way they are. So what happens during this quadruple witching day? So many of these large option positions are expiring or closed or getting rolled or exercised. This could lead to very abnormal price action in the markets, right? It's very likely that happens. And usually this price action is unpredictable because there's no way we can truly foresee everything that's about to go down, because it's really dependent on what on earth these institutions, the market makers, and so on and so forth are doing. So we could see an abnormal amount of market volatility. Usually volume tends to actually increase by a large margin. And we could see the volume and volatility have picked up in the last hour in the New York session. So that's typically what happens. So the last hour of tomorrow is often looked at as the quad witching hour. And that's a reference to the idea that there's a specific period of night where witches appear and, bad magic is the most effective. The point is, it just becomes crazy near the very last hour, and we're going to see a lot of implied volatility maybe going up. It's going to help options in a way, but at the same time, institutions are going to play based off what will benefit them. So my point is, when you look at SPY for tomorrow, the options chain is absolutely insane. We have currently 232,000 calls in the money at the time I'm recording this. 1.7 million out of the money. So that's crazy amounts of calls expiring tomorrow. For puts, we have 800,000 in the money and 2.2 million out the money. So crazy amount of calls and puts being bought. The puts to call ratio is actually a little bit higher for the put side. That just goes to show that there was a little bit more shorting for the week. And also, you'll notice that max pain's at 404. So I'm also going to show you guys Tesla, then kind of break this down, what this means. When you look at the options chain, 500,000 calls in the money, 700,000 or 772,000 out the money. For the put side, we have 124,000 puts in the money as of right now and 1.25 million out the money with max pain at 280. Now, I wouldn't worry too much about max pain just yet. I want to talk about what this actually means for the markets because we could see a lot of puts are out the money as of right now, and we are expecting lots of crazy price action to come. So what's happening is there are all these contracts that are expiring tomorrow. So the market makers, these are the entities that essentially sell these contracts to people like you and me and also to others. What they do is they make money off the spreads, the difference between the bid and the ask. And what they want to do is they want to make a lot of money, but they simultaneously want to choke out some of the premium from a lot of these options. And is it guaranteed they'll do that? Not necessarily, but it is possible. And what they want to do is they may want some premium values to go down in the near term future just a bit, as we are seeing SPY already taking a hit. So what they're trying to do is they want premiums to go down so they can start buying these dips on these options, and then they may let the market start to rally in the future, whether it's like after FOMC, maybe it's as approaching like the midterms. Then they make money off of it, right? It's just their little playground. So what you'll notice on SPY is look at the volatility on SPY. It's already starting. Excuse me. So when you look at it, we had a big push, 396. Then we came down. Then we pushed up again. Then we came down. It was just back and forth and back and forth. Yesterday was pretty crazy too. We were green, then red, then green for quite a bit of time. Then we dropped red and then pushed up green and closed from there. Now look at today so far. I am recording this about an hour and a half before the market closes. We had a big push to about 396 trading in a channel on SPY today. Then we came tumbling down all the way down to 390. Then we push all the way up to about 392.5. We get a big rejection again, back down to 390, testing support. Big bounce all the way back to about 394.5. Then we come down again. I mean, it's just crazy volatility that we are seeing on the SPY. And we do have this big channel right over here. I could actually draw another trend line like right over here. But my point is, crazy volatility, guys. Insane volatility is already starting in the markets. But what I'm noticing is Tesla's holding up pretty darn well. It's basically separating from SPY, and that's a pretty good sign to see Tesla now showing lots of strength. Now, in my previous video, I mentioned that I saw resistance at 309, and Tesla could actually get a small rejection off that. That is what we saw so far today. Now, the question is, what's going to happen tomorrow? And like I mentioned earlier, there's no way to truly tell exactly what's going to go down. There's a chance the shorts could come in very hard and cause the market to crash, or they could get squeezed out of some of their positions and start covering and start pushing it up so that they can make implied volatility go up, maybe make more money on the call side. So it's really insane right now what could really go down. But what you need to note is that the FOMC meeting is coming up next week. So there's also the possibility we could drop in the start of next week as FOMC approaches. And if we do somehow get like a 75 basis point hike, the market could rally off of that. So right now I'm expecting crazy volatility in the markets, particularly the last hour tomorrow is going to be crazy, and we don't truly know what they're going to do. Like, there's no way anyone can really tell as of right now. It's going to be a big battle between institutions, between many investors, and we'll have to just watch our support and resistance levels and see what the charts tell us. So one important note about Tesla on the daily is remember this resistance that we have. So Tesla is on an uptrend as of right now. If this thing pushes up, historically, we did get rejected off 314 two times. So a big rejection came here. We bounced back. We formed a double top, another rejection off 314. Then we came tumbling down after that. And right now, it is possible for us to actually retest that if we get a big push. Now, another thing that's very important is, what if we don't get the big push? And what if we come tumbling down? Well, that's the reason why you have to watch the key support levels and be very prepared for anything, because the market is about to go crazy. So if Tesla pushes up, resistance at 309, we break past that, then 314, we have strong resistance around there. The 314 to 312 range particularly is very strong. Now, if Tesla comes down, it also depends on SPY. If they really short SPY down, because SPY did actually touch 390 many times, and it is possible for it to actually break below it a bit. Now, I'm not saying this will like cause Tesla to crash, because it's not affecting Tesla as much as of right now. Tesla is starting to separate from SPY, the NASDAQ, and QQQ, but it will have somewhat of an influence, and we'll really have to wait and see how this really affects Tesla depending on what they do. Now, if Tesla does come down, like I mentioned, 300 is going to be a pretty decent support level, then 294 to 295, then that 290 range. So please be prepared for that. Tomorrow is going to be crazy. Watch your key indicators very carefully. I did record a video about how to use some of these indicators. I know it wasn't perfect. I kind of like, I gave you guys a lot of decent information that you could really use, but it's not everything you need to know when it comes to trading. So please pay very close attention to your indicators. You could draw out trend lines, but be very prepared and cautious for what these market makers and institutions try to do, because you never know sometimes. There is no real pattern that we could really use to kind of give us an understanding of what's going to happen on quad witching, other than the fact that implied volatility and volume go up typically. So there have been times on quad witching where the market was crashing, then it all of a sudden reversed and started to explode and push to the upside. There have been other instances where the market started to crash on quad witching as well, and some instances where it doesn't even do much. So it's just all over the place. So please be ready for crazy volatility, and please watch these indicators, support and resistance, and I will most definitely see you guys in the next video. Tesla to the moon, because the long-term future is still very bright and the price action is looking a lot better. And peace out.